Hiya then folks, welcome to Boating on a Budget. This is the second part of our little trilogy, seeing what I can get done in the 3 days that I'm off work while Dawn's at work. The first part I got the ceiling battened out, and now on this part I'm hoping to get insulation and boarding on these sides. What I'd really hoped to do was this top section here. I was hoping to get the boards on there and the framework to follow down from the ceiling. But unfortunately the weather's not very good at the minute. Although just at the minute the sun's shining, we've had snow and rain so far today, so I don't really want to be messing about taking these windows out. So for now we'll concentrate on this bottom section. First thing I need to do is take this little wing up, because as you can perhaps see, if I get off my lazy stool, it's not quite running level with the joist that's going across there. It's dipping slightly away. It shows that the boat's not perfectly squared, because that side's cut to the same height as this one, and that's perfectly square. This side's running out of square. So I'm going to need to take this temporary panel off that I put on just as a tester, and then support the back of that with some trim just so it brings it up level, and then we'll have a look at getting the insulation and these back on. That there then is giving a gap of 49mm, and towards the back it's 67. So we've got 49 and 67. So I reckon that means, quick bit of maths, is that 18mm I need to build up at the back, and that'll mean that this sits nice and square along the level of that board there. Got the spacers cut then. These two want to be at this end, and then you probably not pick up on the camera, but there is a plate on the corner that was obviously the strengthening plate for the edge there. So the ones further down don't want to be quite as thick. They're only 15mm. So just a bit of Sikaflex, stick them on there, and these ones down there, and then we can flip this back over, and we've got a nice square edge to work from. If you've never used Sikaflex, it's a great product. Sticks virtually anything to anything. It also sticks itself to your hands, or your kids, or anything that happens to be within sight. The reason I'm not screwing these on, now I'm using that, is because they're only small. If you try and get a screw through it, you'll tend to split the wood. So obviously this will do the job lovely. And that, as you'll see now, is sitting nice and square with that. So we know that's square to that, so we can build off that, confident everything's in line. Before I do fasten it down, I'm just going to put a little bit of insulation on the back there. It's only 25mm thick, so it'll still stand above there, still allow any water to drain down, any moisture that collects in the boat. Not 100% certain how beneficial it'll be, because a lot of this area is actually going to be covered anyway with various bits of furniture, but especially seeing as I've got an odd offcut that I can use, might as well. Hold it down, or hold it in place should I say. Couple of little screws with a washer on, and that's just going to hold it in place. Obviously there's no real weight or anything to the insulation. This is just to stop it dropping into that channel and keep it on that board. Next up then is getting some insulation in. Cut this piece here to 300 millimetres, which is the distance between there and there. And hopefully it's going to be quite a snug fit. So we'll get it in. Might even be just a touch too snug. Yeah, just too tight. So let's shave a sliver off. There we go. So that's first one in. Nice and snug and tight on there. This one I had measured at 300mm, but I forgot to take into account that board there. So we'll definitely need some taking off this. Let's mark it up. Where's my knife? I can't be trusted with anything. There we go. So, first couple of bits of insulation in. Go and grab another sheet, then we need to cut this and also make it so that it follows the corner there. Can you believe? Right, this next one I've cut and I've made a little cutout for that, and I've also scored it so that it'll fold to that little bend in the metal. I've cut it not on camera because I know the sound of cutting insulation is like nails on a blackboard, and not everyone wants to spend all their evening listening to that. So hopefully it'll slot into the bottom there, and then where I've scored it along the back, I'll allow it to just fold there. The hole I've cut out for that is obviously a square hole. I haven't got anything round to do it, but once that's in, I can then just cut a few of the little offcuts and just pack it round it, and that'll seal it nicely. That's the plan anyway. Let's see whether it fits. And that to me seems quite a good fit. And like I say, I can now just cut a couple of bits of that just to fill in around them gaps. That's the panel back in then that I'd already fitted. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to get kind of all the wings in this area all properly down and the insulation in, which obviously you've seen how I do that, so there's no point kind of filming all that and showing you it over and over again. Then what I'll do is when I come back to putting the next panels on, we'll show you how I've done that, where we've drilled it and sort of screwed it all in and what have you. So I get the insulation, wings done. Oh, might have a brew as well while I'm at it. Bit thirsty. Not the end of the episode then, but I'm losing the light, and I've just discovered Dawn's going to be in trouble because she's not blacked the underside of these couple of wings down there. So I'm going to get these blacked, and then I'm going to pack up and go home and plan for tomorrow. Blacking it is. Is there any finer sound than a boiling kettle? Time for a brew. Morning then, back again, all set up. Let's get cracking. Now time to fasten these wings down. Already done that one, so I'll now show you the very simple process of what we're doing to hold all these in place. Got my little clamps, they just hold it in place while we do it. Get my flat wood bit. Do it on this one, you'll see better. Bring that out of the way. Now got a cobalt metal drill bit, better than the standard HSS ones. They drill a little bit cleaner. Just go through there. Right now I've got the drill set onto speed number 1. When drilling things like metal, you're only really wanting the drill bit to be going fairly slowly. If you go too quick, then it overheats the drill bit and burns it out, and then you end up using thousands of drill bits. We probably will anyway, but at least it prolongs the life and gives a cleaner cut. That through, so bolt in, nylock nut. The nylock nut obviously means that it's locked and the vibrations will not work this nut loose over time. That's just got that snugged into place. So we've got to do that for all the wings, so I've already done that one. We've got the ones this side to do. That's just going to hold them nice and secure. But it's little jobs like this that they all add up. You kind of think, oh, I've just got a few holes to drill and a couple of bolts to put in. But by the time you've done that 20, 30, 40 times, it's amazing how long it takes. Well, that's my excuse to dawn anyway, as to why I've done so little. Nothing to do with drinking too much tea and coffee. Get these bottom rails in. That's obviously what the bottom of the board screws to, and it also gives it a bit of strength so that if it gets knocked or whatever, it doesn't actually just break the board or bow the board in. Get these in. These are just some random bits that were left over as I've been building other bits of framework. Hence why they're sort of short lengths, but obviously that don't matter at all. Next we're going to need to cut one of these uprights and one of these boards. So first off we'll measure the upright. That wants to be 83 centimetres, which is 830 millimetres. And for anybody who works imperial, about 32 3/4 of an inch. The board itself then, that's going to want to be 86, so 860 millimetres. So we'll get them two cut and then we'll start putting that rail on. The observant of you'll notice then, I've already fitted that one. That's because I forgot to press record on the camera. So I fitted it all, talking to the camera, telling you what I was doing, finished it, went to the camera, not started recording. So here goes. Basically obviously cutting these is exactly the same. So I've cut this one. To mark it up, we'll just get the centre, the end of the board, which will be the centre of that. Mark it there. Mark it at the top on the insulation and on these. Move that out of the way. Then we want that, like I said, to be the centre there. So if we mark it each side and then we can see as we come to fit it where it needs to be. So that's there. There. That won't matter because once we've lined the others up, that'll line up. Obviously, you need to do it this way rather than just putting a spirit level on it, because spirit levels don't work on boats, because for a start we're tipped more to the back than to the front, so if we were to put a spirit level on, the line would come up and it wouldn't follow onto this. Which I must say as well, I bought these boards pre-cut, apart from obviously we've had to chop the length down, and I think that the bloke who cut them must have been a blind monkey, because some of the edges are appalling. But anyway, that's another story. So we'll get that, line it up onto there. Line it up to those marks at the top. Then realise we've not got the drill bit in. So you always want a good sharp drill bit. My dad has a philosophy that a drill bit's not just for Christmas, it's for life. I think years ago we built an entire kit car near my dad using one drill bit. And I think we must have spent hours and hours drilling each hole. So always use a sharp drill bit. That's today's top tip. Other than the other top tip is, make sure you got plenty of things to kneel on, because otherwise your knees kill. We've then got some M4 bolts, along with washers, and again nylock nuts, so the nuts don't vibrate loose. This is where it gets really fiddly, because time we've got these in here, it's then really difficult with big fingers to get into the back and line it up. We've had tip of the day, I'll now have moan of the day. I've got a full tool set and it goes down to an 8mm spanner, nothing smaller. Typically for this I needed 7mm. So I went on a certain website, the one where they've got shops all knocking around, not mention the name, to buy a 7mm spanner. One 7mm spanner was £4.99. A full set of spanners was £7.99. So that means I've ended up buying, you might be able to see them down there, a full set of spanners, because there were no point buying just one for like a £5, when for £8 I could get a full set. But that now means I've basically ended up buying a load of stuff I don't need. How logical is that? Rant over, tighten these up. That's nice and solid. So just as I finish putting these in, I will say the joints that we've got there, we are going to cover with a little bit of trim that will make it a later date. This panelling that we've got in the bedroom, we are keeping fairly plain. The vast majority of it is going to be covered. We've obviously got beds, we've got chest of drawers, we've got wardrobes and things. So it seemed a bit daft going all out and having really fancy stuff in here. So we are keeping this fairly plain. However, obviously we're making it as nice as we can. So as I just finished screwing these in, what I'll do now is, obviously I'm going to carry on doing all the rest of it. So I hope you've liked this vlog, the second of the trilogy of seeing what I can get done while Dawn's at work. So I'll leave you to it. If you've liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button. Likewise, ding the little bell and you'll get subscriptions. But don't leave now, because I'll do a little montage of me finishing this bit off. So folks, have a good day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Part 3 of the trilogy. See what I can get done while Dawn's at work.